Peer pressure is something almost everyone experiences, no matter their age. It can shape the way we dress, speak, think, and even make life-changing decisions. Sometimes peer pressure helps people grow, but other times it pushes them toward choices they later regret. Understanding the psychology behind peer pressure can completely change the way you see human behavior. 12 psychology facts about peer pressure. Have you ever agreed with a group even when you secretly disagreed inside? Or maybe you laughed at a joke you didn't actually find funny just to fit in. If so, you've experienced the power of peer pressure. Peer pressure isn't just something teenagers deal with in school. It affects adults, workplaces, friendships, relationships, and even entire societies. Psychologists have spent decades studying why humans are so deeply influenced by the people around them. Today, we're exploring 12 psychology facts about peer pressure that will change how you see human behavior. Fact number 1. Humans are wired to belong. One of the strongest psychological needs humans have is the need for belonging. Thousands of years ago, being rejected by a tribe could mean death. Because of this, the human brain evolved to seek acceptance and avoid social rejection. That's why peer pressure feels so powerful. Your brain often treats social rejection like physical pain. Studies have shown that the same brain areas activated during physical injury also become active during exclusion or embarrassment. In simple terms, fitting in feels emotionally necessary. Fact number 2. Peer pressure isn't always negative. When people hear peer pressure, they usually think about bad decisions like smoking, cheating, or dangerous behavior. But peer pressure can also be positive. Friends can encourage healthier habits, better grades, exercise, kindness, or self-improvement. If your social circle values discipline and growth, you're more likely to develop those habits yourself. Psychologists call this social influence, and it can shape your life in powerful ways without you even realizing it. Fact number 3. People often conform even when they know they're wrong. One of the most famous psychology experiments was conducted by Solomon Asch in the 1950s. Participants were shown simple line comparisons where the correct answer was obvious. But when actors in the group intentionally gave wrong answers, many participants agreed with the group anyway. Why? Because humans fear standing out. Even when people know the truth, social pressure can override logic. This experiment revealed just how deeply conformity affects human thinking. Fact number 4. Teenagers feel peer pressure more intensely. The teenage brain is especially sensitive to social approval. During adolescence, the brain's reward system becomes highly reactive to acceptance from peers. At the same time, the part of the brain responsible for judgment and self-control is still developing. This combination makes teenagers more likely to take risks when friends are watching. Studies show teens are more likely to drive recklessly, break rules, or make impulsive decisions in groups compared to when they are alone. Fact number 5. Social media has amplified peer pressure. In the past, peer pressure mainly came from classmates, co-workers, or close friends. Today, social media exposes people to constant comparison and judgment from hundreds or even thousands of people. Likes, followers, trends, and online approval create a digital form of peer pressure. Many people feel pressured to look perfect, act a certain way, or follow trends just to avoid feeling left out. Psychologists believe this constant comparison can increase anxiety, insecurity, and low self-esteem. Fact number 6. Fear of rejection can change personality. Sometimes people hide their real personality to gain acceptance. They may pretend to enjoy things they dislike or agree with opinions they secretly oppose. Over time, constantly changing yourself to fit in can create emotional exhaustion and identity confusion. Psychologists call this self-monitoring, where people carefully adjust their behavior depending on who they're around. The stronger the fear of rejection, the more likely someone is to suppress their authentic self. Fact number 7. Confidence reduces peer pressure. People with strong self-esteem are generally less vulnerable to negative peer pressure. When someone feels secure in their identity, they are more likely to stick to their values even when others disagree. Confidence acts like psychological armor. This is why teaching self-respect and emotional resilience is so important, especially during childhood and adolescence. The more secure you are internally, the less dependent you become on external approval. Fact number 8. Silence can be a form of peer pressure. Peer pressure doesn't always involve direct words like "come on, do it." Sometimes silence itself creates pressure. If everyone in a group stays quiet about bad behavior, others may assume it's acceptable. Psychologists call this the bystander effect. People often avoid speaking up because they fear judgment, embarrassment, or social conflict. This explains why harmful group behavior can continue even when many individuals privately disagree with it. Fact number 9. People change behavior depending on the group. Humans naturally adapt to the social environment around them. Someone may act calm and responsible with one group, but reckless and impulsive with another. This happens because group dynamics influence emotions, confidence, and decision-making. Psychologists refer to this as social identity theory. People tend to absorb the attitudes and behaviors of groups they strongly identify with. In other words, your environment can quietly shape who you become. Fact number 10. Peer pressure can affect adults too. Many adults believe peer pressure ends after high school, but it continues throughout life. Adults experience pressure in workplaces, relationships, financial decisions, parenting styles, fashion trends, and social expectations. People may overspend to match friends' lifestyles, stay silent to avoid workplace conflict, or follow unhealthy habits to fit into a social group. The desire for acceptance never fully disappears. It simply changes form as people grow older. Fact number 11. Group approval releases dopamine. When people receive approval from others, the brain releases dopamine, a chemical linked to pleasure and reward. This creates a psychological reward system for fitting in. Compliments, likes, praise, and acceptance can become emotionally addictive. That's why people often repeat behaviors that gain social approval, even when those behaviors are unhealthy. Your brain literally rewards you for belonging. Fact number 12. One brave person can break group pressure. The good news is that peer pressure isn't unstoppable. Research shows that when even one person in a group refuses to conform, others become more likely to speak honestly too. Courage is contagious. One person standing up for what's right can completely shift the behavior of an entire group. Whether it's refusing bullying, rejecting toxic behavior, or expressing an unpopular opinion, confidence can inspire others to do the same. Sometimes all it takes is one voice to break the pressure.